We're going to begin by just asking you for your personal reflections based on your lives of this new Shriver report. This is a report that Maria Shriver and scores, it seems, of other very prominent and well-informed women put out, talking about the state of women today, and in particular the struggles that poor women and poor working women have in trying to make it in this unforgiving economy, in a culture that doesn't make it easy for working mothers especially. And I know that you all are dealing with this population in many different ways. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how you see it through the perspective of the work that you do. Susie?
For the last few years, I've been involved in the area of human trafficking through the President's Advisory on Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. Something I didn't know anything about, none of my fellow council members knew anything about, but something that is truly on the street corners of every city of this country. And much of human trafficking stems from poverty. The conditions set in homes where kids are sort of thrown out or tossed out end up with kids being in the foster care system, going through the foster care system where really nobody's caring for them in a way that we'd hope they would. They come out of that foster care system and the pimps are waiting for them because they offer them a home and love and clothes and jewelry, and the next thing they know, they're out on the streets. And it is a shocking situation. We know that hundreds of thousands of kids are being trafficked in this country every year, and it's something that we hope this report will awaken people to this situation, and that we can, as women, really go out and fight and trying to remove the scourge from America.
This is a complicated issue for the Jewish community, right? Because on the one hand, there are people like you, I know the National Council of Jewish Women and other organizations have been really, really strong about this. On the other hand, there's a lot of trafficking going on to and from Israel. And yet there's also, I think, a lot of move afoot. Hasn't the Knesset been now dealing with bills about this and trying to stem the tide?
Interestingly, Israel, as a result of the State Department, does a major report on human trafficking every year. And Israel did not fare well. There were lots of young Russian girls who had come through and were being trafficked. They were people from North Africa. There was an awful lot of trafficking going on.
It was a booming business.
It was a booming business.
That was a destination.
Yeah, it was a
destination.
And what has happened is that they've cleaned it up. And that in this year's report, actually, Israel was cited for much improved environment, and they are cracking down on it. And it's not quite the destination it was. There's another issue going on in the Sinai, where the people from Eritrea, who are supposed to be giving safe passage to Israel, the Bedouins are now capturing them, charging huge ransoms, and these women are being trafficked and beaten and brutalized. So there are lots of issues going on worldwide. But I think for us on this council, the wake-up call was really the fact that it was going on in our own streets, in our own communities. And I will also tell you that the Jewish community isn't immune to this. We heard from a young woman who was a trafficking victim who said she was going to day school, and the teachers were abusing her, and then she was out on the streets, and she said, "Don't kid yourself, I'm not the only Jewish kids who has been involved in this, and the people who are coming to me are Jews, Muslims, all from all different varieties of backgrounds."